Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Once more, people are being hurt by XL bully dogs. This, of course, is entirely avoidable. It should not be happening. And had the SNP just gone along with the Westminster rules, it wouldn't have happened at all. We told the story last week of the elderly man. This week, there's two more people mauled and the dog was destroyed simply because it's uncontrollable. However, in their urge to be different, the Scottish government decided that they wouldn't ban them, they wouldn't control them. They'd just let them all roam free effectively, rather than having any kind of alliance or allegiance with rules in England. Because after all, they must constantly create the difference in order to push independence. Well, that push for independence is now costing people very, very dearly. These were two grown men. Imagine if it was a child. You'd be looking at a very small coffin, the very heaviest of all to carry. Let's take a look at this to see why this problem needs to be sorted and why all these attacks lie firmly at the door of the SNP and Siobhan Brown in particular. Ultimately, it was her decision. It's her responsibility. Let's take a look. So, XL bully type dog, you can't say that too early in the video, but let's just say destroyed by police after mauling two men in Scots Town. One man is currently in hospital receiving treatment for serious injuries. Now, had back when the Westminster ban was being put in place, Scotland said, yes, we'll do the same. It is obviously an issue. We'll go along with this one. That would have meant that these dogs wouldn't be available to be harming people in the way they are. That they are. But of course, Scotland needed, not Scotland, the people, the Scottish government, needed to be different. They needed to push for differences, for grievances. They needed to show how different they are from Westminster. And so they said, no, we're not going to do this to these dogs. These dogs are fine. These dogs are not a problem. And now all of a sudden, these dogs are a problem. It's now shown how bad these dogs can be when even grown men are getting mauled so badly they have to go to hospital. If it was a child, you'd be looking at a dead child ripped apart by these dogs who's so very powerful. An XL bully dog has been killed by police after mauling two men, leaving one with serious injuries in Hamilton. Armed officers descended into the Tintoview area of South Lanarkshire town after receiving reports of the attack of an out-of-control dog. This was around 5 p.m. last evening. Paramedics from the Scottish Ambulance Service also attended, and one man was found to be seriously injured. Now, these are grown men seriously injured by a dog. So obviously, what hope on earth does a child have? None at all. These dogs would have killed a child. He was raced to the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital for treatment, where his current condition is unknown. A second man, who was mauled by the same dog on the Loudon Hill Avenue shortly before the incident on Tintoview, was taken to Hare Myers Hospital for treatment for minor injuries. The animal was killed by police after it attempted to attack an officer. And the record understands the canine had been rescued from England. Police say inquiries to establish the animal's breed are ongoing. So this is one of those that's come up from England, as they knew, it undoubtedly knew it would, because there was no ban in Scotland. It's come up to England. It's distressed, I'll grant you, that it's away from its owner. It's going to be upset and emotionally challenged. I get that. But that doesn't remove the fact that it was only in Scotland because the SNP wanted to be different. And of course it should have been muzzled, it should have been controlled, it should have been caged, and it wasn't. Why was it out on the streets? Why was it unmuzzled? If this can do this amount of damage to grown men, it represents a real, clear and present danger. Superintendent Stephen Espy said this was a distressing incident for those involved. I bet. I mean, I was much younger and I got snapped at just by a small terrier, and they didn't pierce. It really hurt. That was just a small terrier dog. These things, big jaws, hundreds of pounds of pressure. They'll break your bone. Never mind, rip the skin. It hurts, Never been bitten by he mouths. My dog mouths. He likes to put there and just arr, arr, arr. But not biting. It's just comforting for him. But even then, he's only a little schnauzer. Soft, crazy, love him. I wouldn't leave him in a room with a child. Because no matter what you think of the dog, they are, after all, dogs. And a child just grabs and doesn't think and hurts the dog, and the dog will turn and snap. This happens. Even with docile dogs. So you never leave a dog alone with a child. But a dog like that, it would kill. It would absolutely kill. Anyway, this cop, Stephen Espy, said, I would like to reassure the local community that this was a contained incident and there is no further risk to the public. There will be a continued police presence in the area while our inquiries continue. Inquiries are also ongoing to establish the breed of dog. But you're not going to get any kind of Crufts, Kennel Club, anything like that. The dog should be chipped, but I 10 to 1 it hasn't been chipped. Guarantee it probably hasn't been chipped. Because, the kind of people who buy dogs like this aren't the sort that want them chipped. And if it has been chipped, then you go to the owner and find out what the hell has happened. Ultimately, the owner or keeper of the dog has got to be responsible. And the victims here, the two guys that were bitten, they need to sue. They absolutely need to sue for damages, for pain, for time off, all sorts of things. There are emotional damage, all sorts of things. There are many, many claims that they can put in. And they need to do it. And they need to send the message to these inadequate, because it's usually, let's face it, not always, I know, and I'm not tiring them all, but usually these kind of dogs belong to sad, inadequate young men who think that by getting an aggressive dog, it makes them somehow less of a loser in life. I've got news for you guys. It doesn't. It makes you look even bigger wankers than you already undoubtedly are. Don't do it. Don't risk people's lives. And imagine if that was your child. Would you really think that buying a dog like that was a good idea afterwards? Probably not. But there we go. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to come up, we'll round off the video. But it's not the dog's fault, ultimately. The dog didn't ask to be born, but it is the inadequate people who breed them and own them and fail to look after them properly. But this one, of course, obviously having come up from England, should have been avoided, should never have been allowed into Scotland. Scotland should have banned them when they had the chance. And now, of course, he's having to U-turn and the ban's going through. I think they had the reading yesterday. The ban will be through in the next few days, hopefully. Anyway, there we go. I'll end that there. I'll come up, we'll finish this video. Just a short one. Just another example of where making a difference really makes a difference. Coming up. I think there's not really much to add to that. So really, all I can say in conclusion is don't breed these dogs. Don't have these dogs. And if you're someone out with these dogs, pick your dog up. If you haven't got a small dog, pick your dog up. Walk away. Get away from them as soon as possible. They attack little dogs all the time. And the little dogs haven't got a hope, have they? Not with those jaws. Not with that poundage. Not that pressure. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Let's hope the ban comes through soon. Nobody's calling for the dogs to be put down. Just not to be bred. Just let the breed go. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.